So hi everyone. So today I wanted to talk about a topic that comes up time to time, and especially yesterday when I posted that video with the 25mm lens, and that is using like Panasonic lenses on our Olympus cameras, and vice versa, using Olympus lenses on Panasonic cameras. And throughout various videos, time to time, I'll say always use Olympus branded lenses with your Olympus camera and Panasonic lens with your Panasonic camera. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is, if you look at the firmware updates that come out time to time, I don't know the exact number, but every now and then you'll see a compatibility issue update where they said, okay, now our cameras can work with the 100 to 400 Panasonic, or now we fixed some stability issues with this camera and this lens. And I see that time to time. And then I also see the threads online, either on Facebook or on the forums, where people are talking about their Panasonic lenses not focusing properly or back focusing on their Olympus cameras. And I've also gotten questions about, does my lens do that? Because I own actually 3 Panasonic lenses. Just off the top of my head, I might have another. Anyway, so there's that. And the other reason is, particularly with the IBIS lenses that have their own stabilization built in, those stabilization systems are only going to work with the corresponding brand. So Olympus IBIS, like the 12 to 100 IBIS, is only going to work with the Olympus cameras, and not even all of them, as far as I know. I mean, I don't have that lens, so I can't say. And then, yeah, the stabilization in the Panasonic lenses only work with the Panasonic cameras. So there's operationally a reason to buy the same brand lens and camera when we're talking about stabilization within the lens. So that being said, the 3 Panasonic lenses I have no issues with them in terms of still photography. I don't have problems with back focusing. I don't have any problems with image quality or build quality. They're excellent lenses. And most of you, I think, have the same experience where you're not having any issues. And there's times when I think the Panasonic lenses are desirable over the Panasonic version. One lens that I looked at was the 35 to 100 f2.8. That thing is, I think, in the spirit of the Micro Four Thirds system, nice, small, compact for its, zoom range, versus the Olympus version, the 40 to 150 f2.8. And that thing is a beast, next to the 35 to 100. Yeah, it has the greater focal range, but for me, that's not an issue. For some of you, I know that is. You need that extra 50 millimeters, and you don't mind carrying a little extra weight. But for me, the 35 to 100 is more desirable. Also, another lens I liked was the 15mm f1.7. That's a Leica lens. David Thorpe, he did a great review on that lens, and it's very crisp and really good contrast. So I went to go look at that lens, and I was ready to buy that lens until I put it onto my camera, because I wanted to use it for vlogging, because it's just wide enough. It's a little bit narrow, but it's just wide enough for me to vlog with. And it was a terrifically sharp and beautiful lens, beautiful colors. But when I put it on my E-M10 Mark II and my Pen F, that thing would not focus properly in video continuous autofocus. It did focus, but it was very slow. So I said, oh, well, yeah, I can't do that. So I ended up buying the 12mm f2.0, which is also an excellent lens. And it does focus just fine on my Olympus camera. So that's just one example of where I turned away from the Panasonic version, even though I really wanted it more, and ended up getting the Panasonic. So a lot of you asked me about this 25mm f1.7, which is this lens right here, right? I have 2 of these, and it's very tempting because this lens is half the price of the Olympus version, and there's really no difference in image quality. In aperture, this is 1.7 versus 1.8, and there's really no difference in build quality. I find the build quality on this equivalent to the Olympus version. So why not buy this? It's half the price. And that's exactly what I did. After I bought my 40 to 150 back 2 years ago, I got this lens, my very first prime lens. for my Olympus E-M10 Mark II. And it's been great for stills photography. I've been taking lots of pictures with this, and it does just fine. But recently I bought the Olympus version 25mm f1.8. Even though I have two of these, I do have two of these, I bought this lens, the Olympus version, because it focuses better in continuous autofocus and video. So I'm just going to do a quick walk around while I'm recording this, and then I'm going to swap lenses. And my Ellie wants some attention. But then I'm just going to walk around and I'm going to show you guys, or you'll see the difference in continuous autofocus and video. Now, if you don't shoot video, yeah, save some money and get this instead if you like this focal length. And for all the reasons I talked about the 25mm from Olympus, apply to this lens as well. Okay, sharpness, you know, depth of field, all of that is equal on this lens. The only difference being, I think the performance and continuous autofocus in video just is not there. And I should test this for continuous autofocus in photography as well. Maybe I'll do that if I get a chance. So we'll put that at the end of this video. All right, so like yesterday, I'm gonna stand here. This is my portrait area, right, with the Jeep. And I think I have the lens at f1.8 right now. It must be because it's really blurry back here. But you can see, like if I walk up to the camera, and sorry, I'm gonna be looking at the monitor time to time, but it focuses really well. And then if I back up, it picks up pretty quickly, no issues, right? And this is, you know, for the kind of videos and tutorials I do, this is totally acceptable, right? I mean, you guys don't really care if I'm in focus 100% of the time, right? As long as I get my message across or my lesson across. So let me walk out of frame. And then as I'm coming back in the frame, and I walk up to the camera, spot on, right there. And then let's do a product test, okay? This is a camera I'm going to talk about very soon, I hope, because this is a great little camera. This is the Olympus TG5. Now if I move this over to the side, see, it goes right back to me. And then if I put this and block my face, I'm sorry about the helicopter, but I do have face detect on, so continuous autofocus with face detect, not the face detect with eye detect, just face detect only. But I think that's a pretty good demonstration, so I'm going to stop here and swap lenses. Now I'm waiting for this thing to acquire focus. Okay, so I haven't changed any of the settings. All I did was swap lenses. And now I'm using the Panasonic 25mm f1.7. And I think it should be identical. I don't think there'll be any color differences. And if there are, they'd be very subtle. But let's do the same kind of walk around. I'm going to just walk back here to this tree. And we'll give it a second. I can't see from here if I'm in focus yet. But I don't think I am. Whereas I felt like the Olympus did acquire focus properly. So I'll walk up here. Very good. Now if I walk right up, let me walk back. See, that took a little while. It's slower. So let me walk out of frame. If I had two EM10s, I would put them side by side with, so you could watch it directly, but that time it didn't do too bad, right? So let me walk around this way. How's it doing? And I'm not going to walk too fast. I mean, it's a contrast detect system. It's not going to keep up if I walk too fast. It's not doing a bad job, but you may have noticed, at least I do, that it's a little bit slower in continuous autofocus. What about when I stand here? It's not grabbing me at all that I could see. All right, let's do a product test. Is it going to pick up on me. Okay, so now it's back on me. Let me show you the TG5. A little bit slow, but good. How about back to me? Can you tell the difference? How this is so much slower? Okay, so face detect is on. Let me put the camera over here. It's not picking up on this camera, which is what we want. We want it to stay on me. Let's see. It should be grabbing the camera now. And it's not. It doesn't want to. Did you guys see Camera Conspiracy? He was using a little Bigfoot. It's cracking me up. He was saying, yeah, this believes in Bigfoot, this one doesn't. Anyway, I love that guy. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick test for continuous autofocus, and in my past experience, it really hasn't been any difference, but I haven't compared them like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk quickly towards the Jeep, focus on the grill. That should be an easy target, right? And then see if it gets everything in focus and if it focuses quickly. Now I have my 25mm Panasonic on. Let's see if it's the same. Okay everyone, so what did you think? Did you think that the video autofocus was slower on the Panasonic? I mean, I certainly do. I've seen it time and time again when I test the Panasonic lenses at the camera store. But for stills photography, I don't see any difference in the single point focus. I don't get any back focusing or any issues at all. It works just as well as the Olympus version and costs half as much. Also, the continuous autofocus, I just did a very simple one where I'm just walking towards the Jeep. Since the Jeep is not moving, I have to move, right? But the net result's the same, right? Did the lens keep up in continuous autofocus and work just as quickly as the Panasonic version, or I'm sorry, the Olympus version? And I felt it did. You know, I didn't really see any difference between the two lenses for that simple test. Now, for really high-speed action, sports, and things like that, I'm not really equipped to test something like that. You know, I don't suspect really there'll be any issue with that either. So, anyhow, if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below. And as always, I appreciate the kind feedback I've been getting on my videos. And if you'd like to see more videos and comparisons and tests like this, just hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.